Hi, this is Eric Hansen with Communications Conversations. Today I'm here with Lee Odden of TopRank Marketing. Good morning, Lee.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Good. I'm well today. I just wanted to have a quick discussion with Lee about some of the trends and issues in the search space. As most of you know who follow this blog, Lee interacts in the search, marketing, PR, social space pretty actively online. Right, in the not only in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, but also nationally. So, Lee, question number one: what have you speaking at the SEMPO conference later this week in Phoenix? What are you seeing as a few of the really hot issues or trends in search these days?
Well, I think one of the opportunities that a lot of companies are realizing is that while it's usually marketing that funds the search expense, because that's what drives sales, a lot of organizations are finding a lot of value by making sure that the other kinds of content that people search on is also easily discovered on the web. And that doesn't always lead to increased revenue, but cost savings. So an example would be after someone becomes a customer, maybe they became a customer through search, now they have customer service issues. They search for frequently asked questions, kinds of information, knowledge-based kinds of information. Well, if you can optimize that kind of content, you can actually reduce customer service costs. Same thing goes for job listings. Candidates, you got to find the right candidates. What if they can find you? Right? You can optimize those job postings for search. And also the same thing with news content. Make it easy for journalists who are doing research on stories to find your company. It's a lot easier for them to make a decision to interview your executives if they found them through search as opposed to pitching them a press release.
Right. Good points. So we were just talking about this, how the lines continue to blur between social, PR, marketing, search, all these different disciplines out there. How do you see that affecting how organizations work with companies like yours that might be top-rank marketing? You deal with marketing, search, stuff like that. But how do you see that affecting that long term?
Well, I think it's increasingly important for the agencies to take their own medicine. You really need to be a participant. You just can't advise companies on what they need to do to engage the social web, build community, build relationships with customers using technologies unless you're intimately aware of those technologies yourself. Gone are the days of just crafting an email campaign or crafting a direct mail campaign or creating a pitch, doing a research on Bacon's or whatever, and pitching out a broadcast email to a bunch of journalists. You actually have to participate in create relationships both with influencers and directly with consumers. So I think lends a more holistic approach is something that these agencies need to be paying more attention to deliver more value to their clients.
Right. Understanding all the different disciplines. Lastly, if I were, there's a lot of mid-sized and smaller firms out there that might not be able to afford or devote the resources to a firm like yours, even though they may very well need it, especially in this kind of economic climate. What would you tell those people and the marketing directors of those kind of firms, if you had 2 tips to give them on what they could do to optimize their sites or increase their search rankings, what could they do today?
Well, the first thing, I think there's a perception thing, and that is if you can't afford to invest in marketing, you can't afford not to, really, even in a recession. If your competitors are not investing, they're cutting marketing and PR budgets, that's a great opportunity to stand out. I made a joke when we were talking earlier. It's like, well, you can take out a line of credit and hire us anyway. We actually do quite a few audits for companies, and basically that's the front end of a search effort where we do an audit, and maybe you could do this yourself. I don't know if you have the resources to do them, but it's basically understanding your audience, your keywords that they're using to search for your kind of content, doing an audit of the content, doing an audit of the technical side of your website, and your linking footprint. And doing an audit of those sorts of things and reconciling the difference between what you've got and what you should have is what becomes your task list for putting into action content creation and optimization and link building. And doing that is what's going to help increase your search visibility over time. As far as what you should do yourself, get educated, go to conferences, and if you have the internal resources to take advantage of do-it-yourself search stuff, then you need to increase your level of awareness of what works and what doesn't. And that might mean shifting headcount, it might mean changing responsibilities, people that work within your organization, but it's going to mean education. And that education issue doesn't just exist in terms of do it yourself, but if you do hire an agency, even for an audit, you should expect them to educate you as well as provide consulting services. That agency should empower you to be able to do a lot of stuff yourself, so they can spend their time on doing the high value, high impact stuff.
Right. That's a good point. That's one I think that agencies will probably struggle with going forward, in that it won't be the same model that it's been in the past. It's more about coaching and providing value in a different way than what's been in the past.
I mean, I'm biased about that because we do a lot of training for companies and we teach them how to do what we do. And people go, well, aren't you afraid they're going to disengage because now they know? And the thing is with the digital social space, things change. I mean, I do presentations every couple of weeks, and I'll go back and look at a presentation I did 3 weeks ago or 3 months ago, and I've got to totally redo it because so many things have changed. So your best bet is to educate your clients and give them value, and they'll rely and trust you more.
Right. Okay. Great, Lee. Thank you very much for your time, and
thank you, Eric.
Good luck in Phoenix later this week at the conference.
Thanks a lot.